welcome to AP Research, where if you think you know how to write an essay, you don't. Trust me, we've all been there. You know, you think you know to write, you'll be picking up one of these in like 2 minutes because you'll realize you don't know anything. But we're going to try and help you to at least learn something so that you're better than us.
So what was your discipline this year in AP Research, and could you describe it a little bit for us?
Of course. So my discipline was ethology, which is a relatively new discipline. Mainly focuses on the study of animal behavior and how that affects the training of animals. So like if you have natural behaviors of certain species or breeds, it could enable a trainer to select individuals like that are best suited to perform certain tasks, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. How could you narrow down your topic within that discipline? How did you come about your topic, for example?
That's a really good question, because like who would really think of that discipline, right? Well, you know, I've always really been fascinated with horses. They're really great. And you know, I knew I wanted to do something over them, most likely, because I actually knew lots of stuff about them, so it'd be easy to come up with a research topic. And that led me to, you know, start thinking about Secretariat, Seabiscuit, wrong horse. Anyways, and how he had basically an awful pedigree, but when he switched trainers, he was able to become a really great racehorse. And I was like, you know, that sounds like a cool look into what might actually, you know, be the cause, because most people think, oh, it's all genetics and pedigree, and you know, and so that made me narrow down my question to more about like whether or not pedigree can actually predict performance or not, which is where I ended up as far as my topic.
Okay, so we know now that like horses is a way to go about this research discipline, but
Definitely.
Could you name a few other example topics that fall within ethology?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, ethology studies, or it's normally focusing on like evolution, development, stimulus, and you know, adaptive qualities. So, I mean, you could basically do like just anything dealing with how a behavior could adapt in a certain way. So you know, like how the young of species play a lot, and you could ask you could ask the question. You could ask the question as to why they'd spend that much energy and why they would risk injury, and that's just like one specific look into it. But basically anything to do with animals and how their behaviors affect their individual takes on life.
Okay, that helps a lot. Okay,
I'm sure it does.
So, why does ethology matter? Like, why would that be such a contribution to the field of research? You don't really think about animals as one of the first things in research.
Yeah, which I mean is true. You know, people want to focus on humans, but let's face it, we're all going to go extinct in a couple years anyways. So why not focus on the animals that are actually going to last? But actually, you know, I mean, we don't really know a lot about actual in-depth of animals, like their brain structure and why they do certain things, and just looking into them can give us insight into humans and help us connect to that branch.
Okay. My last question for you would be, if you had one piece of advice to give people next year in AP Research interested in your discipline, what would it be?
You know, I mean, I wouldn't get too focused on finding a discipline. I didn't do that. Maybe that's why my paper turned out kind of bad. But I just kind of knew I went for horses. I was like, cool. And I went backwards from there, kind of. I didn't really know what my discipline was until I tried to publish my paper, and then I had to find a discipline. So, you know, don't get so stuck up on the rules of how to follow and go through a research paper.
Okay. Thank you so much,
You're
Megan.
so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Hello. Hi.
So let me ask you a few questions about your research, you know, help these kids along. So what was your discipline, and can you describe it for us?
Yeah, of course. Okay. My discipline was the field of medicine. So that kind of just involves anything. I think of like the power of healing. So that's what medicine usually is. That's why people want to go into medicine. So it kind of ranges anything from diseases, like treating diseases, life-threatening illnesses, but it can also include things such as like the anatomy or technology of the field of medicine as well.
Cool. Okay. So how would you go about narrowing your topic down within your discipline?
medicine?
Right. I think a piece of advice I would say is just choose something that you're really interested in and really passionate about. I know for me, I chose, when I thought about medicine, I knew that I liked that just because, I've always wanted to be a doctor, but who doesn't? But for me, it was my brother. He was diagnosed with the disease last year. And so I realized that that was the disease I wanted to look into because it was new, it was rare, and I thought I could definitely contribute to that field. So if you have like a family member who has a disease, whether it's like diabetes, cancer, anything like that, I would definitely recommend doing something you're passionate about because you're working with a research topic all year long.
Can you list a few example topic options that other than your own?
Yes, so you can look into things such as genetics. You can go into like neonatology. You can go into kinesiology. There's a lot of different like subtopics of that. But I know that one really big thing right now is like advanced technology such as genetic engineering, and so that's kind of debatable. You can go into something like that and just find your own twist on it that's different from everybody else's.
So how can you make sure your discipline really matters? Like, do people really care about people?
Well, you see here, very different take from Megan where people don't really matter. I think people matter. They matter a good bit, you want to save them for the most part. So I think anything related to medicine is a very big deal, no matter if it's like something kind of small in the grand scheme of the medical world. It's good because you're contributing to something that could lead to, a new treatment, or the doctors can build upon it to really come to the conclusion that they need in order to get advanced in the medical field.
True. So, what is one piece of advice you would give future people in your research discipline that's your AP research?
Well, you see, I would probably just tell them you need to find something that you actually like, because it's going to get boring after a while. You're dealing with the same thing over and over and over again. So it needs to be something that you're interested in learning about. For me, I loved learning about the human body and like the muscles and the anatomy of everything. So for me, when I was learning about like the treatment, I was able to learn about the body at the same time. So I was always learning something new, and I was passionate about it, and it was actually exciting. As nerdy as that sounds, you should find something that you love to do.
Great. So the main takeaway is be a nerd.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Katie. Thanks for being here.
Of course.
So I'm just going to start off. What was your discipline, and how would you describe it?
Okay. My discipline was arts-based research, and it's a very, very broad topic. So it can start off with something, as like mathematical as science and math, of course. And as chemistry, anatomy, things that are very concrete, but it can also be something as abstract as poetry, reading, music. So it's kind of a mixture of everything.
Great. How did you narrow your topic down in your discipline? Because since it's so wide, how would you narrow down?
So I have a passion for chemistry and music. Actually, when I wanted to go to college, I was having a hard time determining my major. I didn't know if I wanted to do something science-like or if I wanted to do like music. And I loved both. So I thought, what about I just combine the two together, since they both fall in the arts-based research.
Brilliant idea.
Thank you. You see, so that's how I came up with mine. I found the two things that I'm passionate about and that I love to do, and I combined them together in order to talk about chemistry, more specifically the periodic table, and music. So that's what I came up with, kind of like how music works, but with chemistry.
Wonderful. So, what would be some few example topic questions just to narrow it down?
Yeah, of course. So like mine, you can do something with chemistry and music, but you can also do something completely just related to music. You can come up with things such as...
Well, I know you mentioned anatomy. Could you do something with how music affects
anatomy? Yes, you definitely could. You could say that each bone on the body has its own note. So if you were to play your rib cage, what sound would it make? And if you could compose music from your rib cage. then I wouldn't experiment with that. I'd probably do like a meta-analysis, which you'll learn about later in the year, the different types of methods.
Great. Yeah, definitely don't try that on humans, kids. So can you just like say why this would matter?
Yeah, okay. So like I said, the arts field is very, very broad. So something to do with like chemistry could impact the way that you learn different things. So for my topic, when I talked about the periodic table and music, those could be used as teaching methods like within school. So it would matter to teachers. It would also matter to like chemists and things of that nature, because kids could learn easier because it's very left and right brained. You know, chemistry is left brain and music is right brain. So if you combine the two together, and you are making it easier for different types of students to learn at a simpler pace.
Great. What is one piece of advice, Katie, that you would give to people next year in AP Research that are interested in pursuing an arts disciplined research paper?
Well, coming from my standpoint, when I thought, you know, my two favorite things are chemistry and music, I thought no way that they were going to overlap. So don't really tie yourself down to one discipline. If you like both, then go do both, and you can tie it in, and it sure could fall under one category, which is arts based. So just do what you want to do, and don't be held back by restrictions that you may think that are there.
Great, wonderful piece of advice. Thank you.
Of course. What are you reading there, Megan?
Oh, might be a bit too late, but I'm trying to read how to write an essay, you know, because I don't know.
Yeah, what is it talking about?
Well, it's mainly, you know, like researching online, and that brings me to the topic of, you know, feasibility, and we didn't even address that.
So what is feasibility, and why is it important to research?
So, like, feasibility is, like, can you actually do what you want to do? Which, like, I ran into an issue there because I couldn't. And you gotta make sure that you have enough information to be able to actually record the data that you need to record to make a conclusion in the end. And you also, you know, need to find academically acceptable websites, you know, no Wikipedia in this class. Because you need to make sure you have reliable information to base all your data off of. And if your research isn't feasible, like, it's not going to be a good research project.
What about if you like want to conduct an experiment? What are some common issues that AP research students run into, such as like if they're in a medical field and they want to perform
An autopsy?
experiment?
Yeah.
Right. Is that a problem? Like, can we do that?
So that's one thing you'll learn about in this course is you actually have to go through an IRB, which is like a research board or something.
Mm-hmm.
Basically tells you if you can do your research or not. And tells you, you know, if you can, you know, if it's not harming anything, which is pretty important. You know, if you want to, you know, do anatomy and music, you don't want to be banging on people's rib cages.
Of course.
So that definitely helps. And then just the fact that you are a high school student, there are going to be so many people that are just like not going to want to give you data because they're going to be like, no. Like for me, I know I tried emailing trainers to find the training that they use, and none of them responded to me, to which I was, thanks. So you just got to be prepared for that and really know that you have enough information to keep doing your topic, because if you believe it, it can happen.
Great.
Don't
Thank
tell
you so
yourself
much.
that.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for sharing what was inside that great book, Megan.
Of course.
Hey, Megan.
Morgan!
Funny running into you here.
I know, I'm just reading about how we sum up AP research, you know?
Yeah. So how do we exactly?
You do this. Is this a good topic? No? No? Locally laid, can I learn about chickens? This describes me. Can I do this? These are my dreams come true. I forgot what book I was gonna get. Oh my gosh.
You're looking this way?
Think again. Yeah, you don't want to do that. But it was fun.